Let's get going.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him.
What haven't we done? I'm seriously losing track. Are there any nicer ones left?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is your implement.
Well, if we want a nice princess, we have to be nice to her. Take the blade but be nice? I don't think I've tried that before. Last time when we had the damsel, I just went down and started talking. Well, yeah, because if you take the knife, she's not nice anymore. But if we let her go...
You take the blade from the table. It'd be... The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
It's kind of like part of the powers that she has already, knowing that I'm coming with a threatening intent because I have a knife on me. It has nothing to do with being able to see the knife or not. Just checking in on you.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I have a knife, so I can't even say I'm not here to kill you. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. Don't you dare. It's fine.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
She actually looks a little bit more scared because of that. Oh.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
I just want to let you go today, really, but I don't know. She's already on guard. She might not let me get close.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed.
Oh, I guess if we want to rescue her, I'll just drop the blade then. Or should I say, I'm sorry, can we just talk?
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
She won't talk to me at all when I'm holding the knife. Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
She's very on guard already, but she also thinks I'm a loser because I was shaking while holding my knife.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
She's okay with it. That's how long she's been stuck here. Is it because she's been stuck here for that long that she would do anything to get out already? The way she was completely unfazed by having to bite through her arm to get out of here, that stuff is not normal still.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
We didn't get off on a good start, but I'm trying to show you that I am not harmful to you.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Have I checked upstairs before? No, I think the door just probably shuts, right? I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there, and if not, maybe I can at least find something to free you.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
So I can't always do this. Is it because, like, the narrator is stronger here? He can just lock me in?
You're here to slay the princess, and you...
Return to the bottom.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
How are we gonna open the door afterwards, though?
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Worry about one thing at a time? Okay.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Oh, how are both of you okay with this? What kind of a super sharp knife is that?
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
She's a survivor.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Does it hurt her? Or is the pain so little compared to all the entire time she's been stuck down here?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go back to the door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
I remember we've done the Warn one before. Let me just make a quick save here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally.
I'm sorry.
Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. It doesn't hurt her. Physical pain is nothing.
Are you serious?
It's not me. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Oh, last time we resisted, but then she ended up killing me, right? Oh. If I give up, I think maybe we'll see something that we've seen before. The damsel one, right? Maybe? I don't know.
Thank you.
Let's kill her.
You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's ready
Oh
for
my
it.
goodness.
She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again.
How is she so strong this time? Because we steeled her. By bringing the knife down with us, we steeled her for any sort of danger that she could come across.
Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
I'm sorry, but she doesn't know that without me she can't leave. So she's gonna be stuck here with no arm.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground.
This is also someone's fetish.
Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right?
Oh, but it can.
I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, we have seen this before. I'm not gonna move forward from here then. Let's go back and try a different one.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
But I think even though it's the same chapter, I'm guessing there might be slight differences because the way we came here was a little bit different. Last time, we resisted, but she had to kill me anyway. And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she stabbed me again and again. So this time she's like, are you serious? A little bit different. Can we resist?
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
I did resist before.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
Oh,
I can see the conflict in your eyes.
she's a smarter princess. The damsel one is more freaked out about everything, but she's very calm and collected.
I'll make this quick.
She's still killing me though.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
You don't know how true those words are, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
And then she slits your
Ooh.
throat with an almost clinical ease.
Wow.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
I bet someone finds this hot.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Oh. Very small difference, but it did lead us to something new.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
The end result is actually the same. We die by her hands, but her perception of me changes what she is as well. Well, her perception of me is based on what I do to her. So yeah, it's chicken and an egg kind of thing.
A warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Hello there, Skeptic. Meeting you officially for the first time. Skeptic of who? Skeptic of everyone?
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
How do we feel towards her, though? Because I feel like, even though she killed me in this situation, I don't feel particularly negative about her. But if we save her, it'll go to Hansi, probably. Just trying to think a little ahead.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Very official dungeon-like. Nothing weird either.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
I guess I'll take it. I guess I will.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
You're kind of like the paranoid one, huh? Let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Prisoner. So this is a princess who is quite capable, but she can't do anything about not being able to leave. Because that's just how the way it is, especially since she killed me. She can't leave the cabin, and she hasn't been able to leave the cabin, and then she gets teleported to this ultra max security prison.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Very confident, not really worried about you being a danger.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first?
Well, we were, and now we're the second.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Oh, her new prison is accounting for her being dangerous then? Because previously, I did wonder why there were two sets of thingies on the wall, but only one of them was in use, and now even her neck is shackled. And there's an extra unused one too. Oh.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
I did notice that.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Leave the princess in the basement. Sit with her. Slay the princess. Oh, let's talk.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Wait, the shackle isn't actually around her hand fully? Or is that just the art? That's clearly not around the hand. Just sit here.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
This might be the fastest we've gotten the narrator to stop lying, just because the princess already admitted it and there's no use continuing the charade.
It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
Second shot.
A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
The narrator is supposedly some kind of an echo of the being who created me, but me and the princess are godlike entities, so the original narrator person must have been pretty strong too. And what happened to them? Did they just die, and has it been that long that they died? They were mortal. And they created gods?
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
But this stems from a pretty selfish kind of thinking, because you don't want to tell me because you don't want me to have agency to think on my own. You want me to just do the thing that you want me to do. Because if I know more, then I can make up my mind about different things. But also because he's been pretty evasive about everything, that kind of backfired on him too.
That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't.
Ouch.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
We're having an internal argument here while the princess stares at us.
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
See, he doesn't want me to think for my own.
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
For your version of the world being saved, yep.
I won't. Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. We'll see about that. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
You were asking about my intentions earlier. What did you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
That works for your hands, but I don't think it'll work for the one on your neck.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
We've seen ghosts.
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
You are such a hater.
Unless she really could survive.
I don't want to test it.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
What happened after the last time I died?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
This one has some pretty good information though, because I feel like the other princesses haven't been readily giving up the information about how, oh, it's actually been the same princess across these chapters. Despite our tense relationship right now, she's quite willing to talk.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
That other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Kinky.
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
How am I supposed to cut you out? If you didn't notice, your head is in a shackle too.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
It's fairly big, but not as big as her head. I don't know how she's gonna do it.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Oh no.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
That's totally possible.
Though if she isn't bluffing, Whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world, and she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros?
There are none, says the narrator.
There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Well, one thing that we can't really understand is that she has been here for God knows how long, and sometimes maybe she doesn't want to bother with stuff like getting revenge on me and she just wants to leave. I'm gonna look at the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh, because I'm getting closer to her.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
Look at it, inspect it, don't put your hand into it.
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Okay, we gotta look at it. If we're both just stuck here, oh boy, that'll be fantastic.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity.
She must understand that if she traps me here, it'll mean that no one's getting out. So if she wants to get out, she shouldn't be trying to do anything like reach over and clasp me in the shackle. Depends on if she wants to get out more or does she want revenge on me more.
I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What?
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Well, I don't think I've ever heard the music just cut out like that before.
Yes, it's bad.
Why didn't you tell me then? You could have said it and I wouldn't have done it.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Oh, I'm really scared.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Well, I guess that's that then.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
But this isn't... Why is this happening though? Because this isn't actually conductive to the narrator wanting me to kill the princess. I just lost my blade. We're both stuck here until the end of days.
Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
You know, one thing that's been really cool is that as much as the psychological horror gets you sometimes, with the music cutting out and stuff, that was one of the most scared I've been the whole time, but they never actually do any creepy jump scares or like loud sounds. I really appreciate that. The scariest thing animation-wise that's happened so far probably would be the one where we were doing the beast and then there was that quick animation of the princess coming out from the dark to get us. But even that it wasn't like, you know, like a cheap jump scare. So I appreciate that. Ooh, new view.
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
I guess we won't get to chop off the princess's head this time.
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
But can you act on it again?
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Why? Why is it acting like that? Stuff like the cabin door closing, we know it's because the narrator wants us to do something with the princess, kill her preferably. But the chain being this way, I wonder why, what's the reason, what's the intention for that? Did you know this was gonna happen to me?
No.
So, we're both stuck here.
Yep.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
We can do some board games or something. We're close enough that we can do rock, paper, scissors. Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
Okay.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing. But there isn't.
I don't want to biologically starve and die again.
Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
You would think she would warm up after maybe a few millenniums and want a small talk with me, but nope. Nope.
At least the world is safe.
We never slayed her.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
People hate change, but change often is a good thing. I think between good and bad, I would say it's a good thing. Even if it's bad, it's an opportunity for you to find something better. Without change, everything just gets too static.
How exactly does that work? It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time, and after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work. I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Hey, have you noticed the basement changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
I do.
Still rude.
I think it got a little bit darker. Okay. Oh.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls. That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Skeptic is a pretty good one too, huh? I like your detective work.
She hasn't starved.
Neither have we.
I guess she hasn't.
Ooh.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass.
The blade is kind of gone now. I feel like if I hadn't seen the ending already, something like this might sway me a little bit more towards the narrator's side, because he told me, if you don't slay the princess, the world will end. And the process of all this stuff happening could be interpreted as the world ending. Actually, it's just normal woods growing around everywhere, I guess, but it could be, because no one's coming around to fix the dungeon and stuff, so I didn't kill her, and the world is going into decay.
Until suddenly, there are no walls. And then... And... I think he's gone.
Oh wow. Just time passing.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
I enjoyed sitting next to you.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'll never not be sorry. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. And is that a mirror?
It's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean?
No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Maybe this is just the standard line. It's you. You've grown. You've withered. It's not related to the princesses we collect. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. That was, nothing happened, but it felt very forlorn. I don't think I'll ever not feel forlorn though, because the princess's circumstances, it sucks for me, but knowing that she's suffering like this too doesn't make me feel good.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
They've been kind. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
To close off your heart because the world, everyone in the world has hurt you too much? That's very sad.
Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
See, and it's because change happens that we can at least put her out of her misery. We never mourn all the bad things that have happened to the princess because they end. The suffering ends. If change didn't exist, then we would have just been sitting in that cabin forever, suffering eternally. Yeah, now some of these lines make more sense, I think. Like, I don't want to hurt you. These vessels that I bring you, I've hurt them. What if I just don't want to bring you any more vessels? What if I just wait here forever?
Then we will remain here as we are now. Barely finished. Damp. Cavernous.
You have no need to wait. I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods.
I'll save this one. I'll save it. But let's go back to... I'm very curious about the whole, like, chopping off head thing. Oh, we won't go to the shackle.
Good. Forget you ever saw it. Nice try, but I won't. Specifically because you told me to.
You realize that I have as much reason to distrust you as you have to distrust me, right?
I do. So I guess this all comes down to which of us caves first. And it's not going to be me. I'm extremely patient.
I can tell.
It's probably better if we take action anyway. No use trying to wait her out. That's playing to her strengths.
I want to see what happens if I give her the knife. Or I can do it for her. Leave her down here. And then that probably leads to the same thing that we just saw, I'm guessing. Just give her the knife. It's crazy. Okay, let's try it. Okay, I'm trusting you.
Slide it over.
No, Absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right?
Oh, Rory tried to take over your body.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
A little.
I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor.
I'm so scared we're gonna see some gory stuff again. Oh.
The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
Throwing aside all of our circumstances, I like this princess. She seems pretty chill. And not,
pulls
oh
up
my
her hair,
god!
smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat.
Is she just trying to kill herself to escape? Like as a way to end it all, as opposed to escaping the cabin?
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No.
We have to look.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, her smile unwavering as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
This is too much suffering.
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
She went for a really painful way about it though. If she wanted to kill herself, she could have just stabbed herself in the chest.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Are you sure she's not winking at us?
Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
Oh no, it's okay.
No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
Can we stop looking at this place?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Oh dear.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids, then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead.
Maybe we can bury her.
But
What if she's not?
Then we'd be freeing her.
Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
Yeah, decapitation is lethal, but so is dying. Yeah, so is dying. And how many times have we died? Okay.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Is it getting hairy?
Well played.
Oh! Oh, wow.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. But it's already...
Over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you.
We could have talked about this beforehand.
So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Oh, it's just the head. Well, then who would they take if I didn't take the head? Nobody. They didn't even have...
She's gone. And is that a...
Okay.
You're right.
I just want to see what the vessel looks like in this case. Oh, okay. I think they repaired her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes
Oh,
become
wow.
pop whenever you are ready.
Oh, that was intense. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart.
It's deeply depressing that we know it's because she's suffered so much. But the narrator doesn't understand that at this point yet. Because he's like, why would she ever do that? But, last time in the nightmare route, before the moment of clarity, it seemed like he realized that he put people through a lot of suffering. Because the princess was not doing good there.
Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Okay, let's go back to that one again. There's gotta be a chapter 3 here somewhere.
Good. Nice try.
If I just cut her out myself... I'm guessing something... let's try it. If you want to leave, I'm gonna be the one with a weapon. Deal with it.
Do you think these chains take away my saying things? I said no.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her.
Yeah, but no, you were. We weren't gonna chop off her head. Yeah, no, we
You
weren't.
can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if she walked up to us with a blade again, after what happened between us? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Slaying her, dropping it. She'll kill me. If she kills me, I drop it.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor,
Oh, she's gonna kill
the princess
herself.
releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She
Okay,
pulls up her
no.
hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, I get the point. How about we
Good night.
just slay the princess then? Leave her in the prince. She's gonna... Yeah, she's gonna rot, and I think it'll be similar. Can we slay her right off the bat?
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
This makes me feel more and more sad the more different choices we explore. No matter what happens, we can never be alive and happy together.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us again. Just listen to her, do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted?
We'll try.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike.
I think it makes a bit of a difference in intent though, because this time I did want to start off with slaying her, but the other time it was because she misunderstood me, and then I had to kill her because she was gonna kill me otherwise. Actually, I didn't have to kill her. If I just dropped the knife, which I did, then she would let me go. Small difference in intent.
You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart.
Her expression.
The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
She knows how this works, because we'll see her again.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
An eternity of constants.
You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
Skeptic is sharp.
The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
This is a little bit different though, because we have nothing to offer Hansy.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
Skeptic is sharp.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is.
There is a reason we took the blade. That's bullshit. Let us out of here.
What's done is done. And there's no going back now.
You have to at least show me the good ending graphic, okay?
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Let's kill ourselves. Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
But we're not happy. He's just telling us that we are. I can tell you for a fact that I'm extremely unhappy right now.
Yeah, what he said.
You're all unhappy. What do you suggest then?
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Oh no, I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna accept my reward now.
That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes.
He's just saying things.
The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Give me the graphic. Yay! Yay!
No, you stop that. Stop all this nonsense. You know what you have to do.
Oh, the skeptic pulled me back. Last time Hansi pulled me back. Oh, look, my cursor. There's blood on the knife. Yikes. But I liked being happy. Are you really gonna take it away from me?
That wasn't real happiness. The truth is still out there for us to find, but we can't find it here.
You sound like the host of a true crime documentary. Is there really no other way? Because I really don't want to use the blade on myself.
If it makes it easier for you, I can do it. Let me have it.
Okay.
Alright. I'll make this quick.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
The truth is elsewhere, and we must go seek it.
Yeah, fine. The little voice raises the pristine blade to your throat and cuts it open. You rapidly bleed out and then you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh, here's our chapter 3. The Grey.
You're on a path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
This is depression.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
Oh, hi. I've met you before, right? Not just in a nightmare. I don't remember which one I've met you in, but I think I've met you before.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
3.
It's our 3rd. What gave it away?
The amount of voices?
Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade.
But the more on guard we are, the stronger she'll be.
And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here?
Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves.
Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward.
Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
We weren't. We were bored.
You were bored. I was just unhappy.
There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
I don't know how he expected us to just sit there for eternity, though. Like that. Eternity means like every additional second that we have just means it's a chance for me to make a different choice again. That different choice being to die. This was never a good solution to begin with. Your whole saving the world scheme relied on one person constantly choosing to not kill themselves every second for the rest of forever. How probable is that?
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? It just does. And I'm not telling you lots of things, but it's for your own good. It's for the good of everyone. It seems to me like keeping secrets didn't help you last time, so you should start talking. Fine, the world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
This princess has suffered so much. Much like every other princess, really, but we know how much she's really suffered. She couldn't trust anybody.
Let's try something different this time. We've already seen what happens when we slay her, and I'm not convinced that's a way out for us. I'm not even convinced there is a world to save.
Skeptic is a scientist. It's raining. It wasn't raining last time, or the time before that. The whole path is different.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean?
Her powers.
It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining?
'Cause she's sad.
If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Ooh, this guy's a bit of a psychopath. Yeah, it's her. She's crying. She's metaphorically crying. She's never had anything good happen in her life before. What happens if we don't go to the cabin?
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations.
You're smart.
Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring.
She killed us once, we killed her once, what else can we do? Let's go. Whatever happens next, seems like all our answers are in the cabin. We might as well see this through.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright? What we do is entirely up to us.
The lights are always on inside, but when we go in, there's no lights.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world.
Both Cold and Skeptic seem interested in solving the mystery.
That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Not at the sake of our own happiness and well-being.
Is it? Yes. I think. Don't let them make you second-guess yourself. The fate of the world is the most important thing there is. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
We are somewhere else. We know this is a construct. Which actually makes it kind of weird because that other time when we were sitting in the cabin and it started decaying, why would the construct decay? Can't you just keep it looking the same eternally? No?
Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
We got a chatty bunch today.
As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mould and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her?
She's ghosty again.
It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her.
What do you mean? She's right here. She's just a little bit incorporeal, that's all. We've seen that plenty of times already.
You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room? But there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
Oh, there's no blade here, that's right.
But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again.
Makes sense from a player perspective, but doesn't make sense from a construct perspective because they always want us to slay the princess.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
But there is no door.
Maybe the mirror isn't real. Maybe it is real, and he's lying through his teeth to stop us from looking into it. But it seems like whatever we want to do, our next step is on the other side of the room. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not.
Can we smash it this time?
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off.
Is Stubborn the only one who can smash it? We haven't had that option come up again.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down.
That mirror
The
being
door to the
here.
basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Hasn't said a single thing so far. And that was the first... We saw her above the basement door. That was the first time that's ever happened. Especially before we go down to begin with. I don't have a weapon. There wasn't anything upstairs for me when I got here.
Don't just tell her you're unarmed. Not that it matters, you receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset.
She's a shell of who she once was. Oh.
You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything.
We have a lot of very chatty voices today, to the point that we're getting stuck on every scene for like 5 minutes because they can't stop talking.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
Oh.
A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the rain. The rain made her drown? Or she could have just died and drowned afterwards. I hope that's the way it went. If she drowned here while being chained up, that's even worse.
This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do?
During the tower one, didn't we kill the one in chapter 2? But then she came back in chapter 3. Maybe because we didn't finish killing her fully? It was the one where her skin was peeling off and she was like wearing it as a dress and all that in chapter 3.
She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is.
Where is the spectre? The wisp?
Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart.
Oh.
And yet she isn't dead.
That feels a bit symbolic, because she's never been exposed to any type of happiness. There is a metaphorical blade through her heart the entire time she's been here.
She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon, your pristine blade, sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
But she's not wielding it. She's not wielding it, so I feel like she can wield it, I guess? She just closed the door so she can touch stuff. Do you want to kill me?
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
You know what the TikTok kids say? Unalive. You can't say the D word.
Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Okay, she can talk. Why did you close the door?
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence.
Did the water levels just go up?
Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it?
Oh, we just wasted a question slot.
It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel.
She won't be hurting me.
Bad, I bet.
I think she'll just let us drown, like how she drowned.
I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
We could rush for the door so we can take a few steps up. I think we can probably do one more question at least first, though. I only killed you after you killed me first. We're even now. We don't need to do this again.
Pathetic.
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die?
Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from?
Well, for starters, we can walk towards her.
It's coming from some unseen place. Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth.
Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it.
There's not always a puzzle around here, my friend.
Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are.
Yes, most people are doomed. But in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
Forever is a long time. I mean, I guess if we rush towards her, I have no idea how she'll react. I think she's just like an extension of the one we saw in chapter 2 though. She's not much of a talker. I'm not gonna rush for the blade. I don't want to kill you, but I'll step out of the water.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps.
What?
The door bursts open,
Oh!
a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall.
Oh.
You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out.
Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
The shackles?
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths.
She's in control of this place now, so she's choosing to drown me with her tears while the blade is still stuck in her heart.
As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
I thought it might have been the body, but then I was like, well, the body is dead, right? Oh. Oh, this is... Oh.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please.
The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think, like we should have been doing all along.
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same as mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Place is getting hairy. Oh! She got taken too. But your lungs don't fill, nor will they ever. It's time for you to leave.
She's gone. And there's that mirror again. What is that supposed to mean? No, that can't be right.
Voice of the cold doesn't want to talk? Yeah, we can skip this part maybe. Nope. Find yourself in the long quiet once again. Oh, this one... The images that we saw were pretty nightmarish in a gory... the gory headlessness, and then the bloated body was not pleasant to look at. But the biggest horror of it all was just how much pain we put her through. But if we didn't know what was going on, then it might just be like, oh, this is so spooky.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become whenever you are ready.
Not as nightmarish as the nightmare one though. That one was very aptly named. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart.
In the end had the courage to share with another? Oh.
Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard.
Interesting. Does she feel heard because she suffered all this stuff? And then by making me suffer similarly, she feels like, okay, well, maybe now you'll understand how I felt. You can try to have a fraction of the experience. Your lungs filled with water, just like how mine filled with blood. She's got a bit of a different hairstyle. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Your Honor,
So those ones were... I'm just ultra depressed now. In the other ones where she's hostile towards me, if she has the power to fight back, we have an excuse to not feel as bad because, hey, if she's hurting me, if she's gonna try to kill me, that's self-defense if I try to fight back. But this time she was so chained up, she didn't really have any power to resist. And it just felt like we're just making her suffer again and again. Don't worry, my love, I will come save you, and we will... We're supposed to explore the other endings this time too, but I feel like I still want to let us leave and have the grass growing again after seeing all this.